Let's see what Spirit wants to talk about today. Folks, you know energy should be free, right? Cleans the space you're in. Energy does not belong in a wire. Okay? I get frustrated at the ignorance of mankind. And I don't mean that negative or positive. I mean just the lack of knowing and understanding what it is that now the governments of man have taken over. Okay? Your medicine, your sacred energy healing, your sacred plants, the lands, right? Poisoning everything, pesticides and spraying stuff in the air and damming everything up and, so far away from the power of the living God, and they call it technology, okay? When you really get into this stuff, you know that people had electricity thousands of years ago, okay? What they call modern day is lacking. Let's just say that. I have all this stuff coming at me. I've been kind of frustrated lately at watching everything play out in the world, and not because I don't know the truth or that the light has won, but just that being positive at the ignorance of man. The logic completely escaped them. They got hypnotized by the governments of man, and they think that the governments of man just can tell them what to do, and they just do it. And it's shocking, right? I mean, these governments of man are new. Okay, the newest corporation of the United States, or the people that don't get that basic, like when you bring a boat out of the water, okay, you clean it off, right? Because you don't want what's in that water to cause some sort of disease or issue in another body of water, okay? It's local. That kind of stuff's local. Yet they convinced everyone that if something happens in one town, it happens around the world at the same time. They convinced everyone that the entire world governments control them, and they're doing it by force. They're keeping them in their homes, they're beating them up, they're jailing them, they're fining them. And there's still a massive amount of people that are okay with this. And they're like, yeah, because they should do what the government tells them to do. Okay, so the government's just some guy. Like now it's just that our president of the United States just makes you barf to even look at the whole energy of it. I mean, you got someone who's pedophilic, right? You got someone who's always touching kids, the disgusting wars, the disgusting dark, and you got a group of people out there like, yeah, go, 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 right? Supporting pedophiles. They're like blue no matter who. To me, none of this is about politics. It's about people. Okay? Do you want to be governed? Do you want somebody that has no connection to the power of living God, has not studied herbal medicine, energy medicine, frequency, quantum shifts, all that stuff that we know exists, and the governments of man are in control of all of us, star seeds, light workers, because there's so many people out there that are like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, you got a white coat on, I believe you. And that's the ignorance that frustrates me, okay? I can show someone something over and over and over, and they'll still turn to the governments of man, okay? The governments of man say, oh, there's no cure for cancer, right? So what do? We hide in a garage, right? We hide in the woods, and we go and have secret meetings, okay? Over what? Over centuries, right? I myself have done it over decades, okay? There's hundreds of cures for cancer. Alkaline cures, black salve. I could go on and on all day. SCACT, Harry Hoxie, I studied it all decades ago. Shocked that the governments of man hid it. Just bawl my eyes out in the waiting room where I went one time with a cancer appointment with my mother's, and people watching their relatives die, and people so upset, right? My mom went natural. We cured her naturally. And I've helped hundreds of people cure themselves naturally of cancer. And it's not to say natural or unnatural. It's just the way it is. When they radiate and they surgery and they give you all this fake stuff that causes more stuff, and you die anyway, and you die a horrific death, and even if you live, they zap all this stuff out of you, right? There's cures for all of this, and they keep it from you, and then they tell you what to do, and there's so many people out there that are still yes sir, no sir. I'm 51 now, and sometimes it just makes me just want to curl up in a ball and die, okay, to be honest with you, because I'm so sick of these people. I'm so sick of them going, create something new, make some chemical, jab me in it, bring down this from the sky, do this, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. I know God, okay? I know life and death. I see energy. I have seen miracle healings with energy and prayer and quantum shifts. And I see so many people still listening to the government's demand and them still seemingly in control. And as we're getting ready for that all falling apart, I'm still watching. I don't watch the news and stuff, but I still kind of do. And that they're still so absurd and so illogical. They're still so traumatized, and they're trusting in a system that is so violent in their rhetoric, and they're saying it's the other people that are right. You are your own government. You are your own connection to the power of the living God, okay? I get it. I get the waves of depression that come and go. I get them myself. Watching this, waiting for what? Well, as starseeds and light workers, we came here to liberate mankind and raise the consciousness of Mother Earth and her people, right? And so we're stuck here, right? And that's as positive as I can say it, okay? Oh, we got free will. Yeah, we got free will to a certain extent, okay? We agreed to stay here until the humans, mostly human consciousness, evolved and could be liberated, okay? And so we have known this at birth. We've known it for probably thousands of years, watching what's happening to them, and they like it and they want more of it. They can't wait to get back to normal, right? And it just makes me sick, and I want out, okay? And no, I'm not suicidal. I'm stuck here helping to raise the consciousness of Mother Earth. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I love Mother Earth. I love to be a part of raising the consciousness of Mother Earth and her people. But some days, like this last week, I think that they haven't even moved, right? They're like frozen molasses at 50 below zero trying to pour it out of something. They're not shifting in their belief. They're doubling and tripling down on the fact that you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And they don't know God. And I'm not talking about the one true God. I'm talking about a divinity, Mother Earth, gardening, sacred of the land, okay? Not needing mankind to invent things to cure you when the cure, and making your plants illegal, laughing and energy healing. Ha ha ha! Quantum shifts. Oh, you shifted to another reality. Ha ha ha! Get your tinsel hat out. It happens, okay? But it's okay if you're in a quantum physics class. Yes, we can't. The observer, the double-blind split, experiment. The observer affects every scientific experiment, okay? So how does that coincide with their little science? The observer affects every experiment, okay? The Imaro Emoto water stuff, okay? See the book over there? I see the book, really. I can see it. That our thoughts change water. So, prayer to heal bodies of water, and we're mostly water, okay? That, What the Bleep, that was like in the 90s show, kind of was bringing some of this more to the masses. And then The Secret, law of attraction. We create reality by our consciousness. So they manipulate our consciousness by propaganda, and that's legal. And then the people go along with it. They don't think for themselves. They don't read for themselves. They don't research for themselves. They just listen to what the newest thing is that the person tells them. Now, I saw 9/11. I saw what happened spiritually. Spirit showed me then. And I've been in the know my whole life, sitting here waiting for humanity to wake up so we could get to the next level. And now, like the last week, just frustrated it. I can see the next level is just going to be just this. Okay, positive way to say it. What they aspire to for their next level is a million bazillion miles away from where I want to be, okay? I know superhumans, right? And I know people who can teleport, and I've studied yogis, and I studied cryon channeling and plating channels, and channeled myself my entire life. I was introduced into that stuff with the harmonic convergence in 1986. And when I was younger, I talked to spirit all the time. So to me, I thought it was matter of fact. And then you get out here among them and you realize it's not. They still want their systems of man. They still want, predator and prey. They still want the prosecutor and the defendant, okay? They still want this system where it's just chase and then they create money, and then they create chase, and the money system's all made up by them same people, okay? And I keep thinking that when we get to this next level, we're going to be liberated from all that. But then Spirit keeps telling me that Yeah, in a way we are. But it's much like people who are kidnapped or something traumatic happens to someone and they're out of it. It takes a long time with post-traumatic stress and stuff to realize you're out of it. And it's going to take at least a generation. I'm not going to see it here of what's going to happen here on Earth. I mean, I'm seeing some of it today. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the consciousness is not raising and things aren't good. But this next level of good is now that once they awaken and they're not there yet, then we school them. We have libraries. We have different types of healing. Things move more natural. But then they're still at this density level that's frustrating, right? It's like having permanent 2-year-olds. And again, I'm not putting a negative spin on it. I'm just saying, as a light worker, I'm frustrated at the fact that what I see playing out that is still so illogical to me. I don't get it. They don't have any logic. They're not thinking for themselves. It doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to say anything specific, but there's a lot of it going on. And so what spirits told me about the quantum stuff, right? So we come into a new phase in 2012, right, where we kind of died and moved to a different reality, and we're waiting for the consciousness of mankind to unwind so we can shift. We can't just take them. They have to logically unwind this consciousness themselves. Okay, so and we don't know what they're going to do. So we hit a point where it's like it's touch and go, as they say. We don't know who's going to wake up or how we're going to hit these levels. There's a lot of wild cards, and so we have to wait. There's no such thing as time, so we should be able to be patient, and it's fine, okay? And I find that place quite often, but sometimes I'm like, why bother, right? We're completely outside of their system now, okay? They don't want us in their restaurants. They don't want us in their schools. They don't want to play with us, right? Because we think for ourselves and we can logically unwind things, and we're ascended masters, right? Hands-on healing absolutely can remove a tumor. I've seen it. I've seen it in action in videos of the ultrasounds, okay? And I'm not just talking Reiki. I'm talking, for me, it's any kind. I do all kinds of energy healing. But it's from the divine that you bring through. And you're all healers, okay? So they want to take that away from you by convincing you that there's another power that's more important than you. But really, putting your hands over anyone, you're healing them, but only to the level of which you're healed. You're still, like, someone's wrist hurts. You can break, if it's your own, you got energy running through your middle finger. The middle fingers really run energy, and you open that up and your wrist stops hurting. And you can do that with people. I was going to say people at work, because that's where carpal tunnel usually is. So this video kind of a, like, positive, keep going, light workers, kind of is, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm done in a way. I only want to heal the healers. I'm only open to doing spiritually counseling and readings for people who want to do the work, who want to release their programs and release their triggers. I'm not interested in working with people who are like, yes, massa, government's a man. Yes, I do whatever you say. I got no brain. I got no read. I don't want to work with them at all, okay? Are they less worthy? I don't want nothing to do with them, okay? If I could completely escape their reality, I would. But we're moving the consciousness together. And again, not being negative. It's creepy, okay? They hate me. They hate me because I won't do what they say, and the next day they say something different, and they say do this. Every day they say it to do it different, and they're mad at me because I won't do it. I don't want no part of them. And on the other side of this, when humanity's all liberated, I still don't want no part of any of those people that wanted that for me, okay? So my big dream still is that we're still splitting into separate versions of Earth, because I don't want to live with these people. Okay, and I don't want to heal them, and I don't want to work with them. I'm here. Oh my gosh, Spirit, what's coming through now, right? I don't mean to sound negative. I'm just really fucking tired of it, because they don't know the living God. Okay, if I know the power of the living God, I should be like, I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. But no, okay? So create your own church. Create your own governing bodies. Every building downtown should be some awesome group of people, and it's your church, and it's your building, and I can go in there and visit, and I can see your way. And I can go, and I don't change you, and I don't berate you, and I don't block you from the building because you're a leper and you're not our kind, and in the area I live, that's the majority. And it's still, okay, I was going to say it's sick. It is sick. It is perverse. It is dark. Okay, but they don't mind taking your tax money. Okay, they'll keep taking that, and they'll do whatever they want. So they love oppression. They love the government's demand. So for now, as long as I'm alive, And I got a granny who's 90, so I probably got 40 years left. Oh, God. Do I sound suicidal? I'm not. But do I wish I would leave tomorrow? I do. I would love to leave this planet. But I know that the Mandela effect, I know that quantum shifts, that I just shift into another reality and I'm still me. And I know there's no such thing as death. But there's not really going on there, to me, that's inspiring or happy outside of my own world. My own world is great. I have tons of visions. I astral travel. I write. But you know, the like events, different things out there with the humans who don't want you there because if you won't be controlled, we don't want to play with you. I don't think they're the majority now, but they gross me out, okay, even being around them. And it's like, even if they don't know if I'm one of them or not, I mean, to watch their hysteria even now in November 2021, I just wish that we were on separate planets, in separate realms, separate dimensions. And that's kind of what I thought this shift was into New Earth, okay? And so now as we're there, okay, what are we hoping for? Oh, great. We're hoping for a new government. We're hoping for a different president. We're hoping for a different leader, a different ruler, okay? So that's the best we can hope for. Okay, is that they're all liberated, and then we have the right kind of leader. Okay, I'm stubborn. I don't want a leader. I never wanted a leader. I've never wanted a president. I've never wanted a local mayor, someone telling me what to do. I didn't want a fucking father. I didn't want a mother. Okay, I always knew what was best for me, and I was always oppressed by some authority. I don't want it. And now, even though we're all grown up, it's our peers, right? And we've seen it a lot over the last couple years. And I kept thinking, okay, consciousness is raising, it's raising. But it really is such a split now that I really am hoping that the channeled information is true about the 3D planet, that they go to a 3D planet to work out their need for the government's demand. There needs to be told what to do. There needs to not be, I mean, how can you be right now to not understand anything about quantum physics where you know the universal law of attraction, okay, that you can quantum shift in healing, energy healing each other. Okay, I think that they should have known this for decades and centuries now, and they're just babies. And once they first, it's still so, wow, I can feel the energy, wow, right? When we've known for decades, if not centuries, you dissolve tumors, okay? Cancer's natural. The Indians had natural cures for it, okay? They're not even to the point of accepting that as a reality, even in philosophy. So how are we still going to live on this planet together? I don't, grosses me out. Turns out this is going to be quite a little negative video. I'm letting myself do a negative spin here. And I heal this energy for all the light workers. I see the frustration. And when it dawns on me of how slow humanity's moving and some of the things they're saying, and I know there's no time, right? So I know that we kind of just quantum shift and we'll just be there. And I want to remember all this stuff. But what I've been experiencing the last week is just like, it's really a bummer that so many people still want to be governed. They want to be taxed. They want white coats to tell them what to do. They have no logic. Their outrage is based in completely a whole other reality, and that's fine. But that reality, why do we as light workers still have to live in their reality? We drive cars in their reality. We go to their stores, their restaurants, their bars that we're not allowed to anymore. Why are we still having to do that? And as light workers, we're raising the consciousness of Mother Earth and her people, and we're still beaming that out. But, how long do we have to do that? And I was going to say suffer that, because it's not joyous anymore to me, okay? I love doing spiritual advising and I love doing healing, but at the same time, then I go, wait a minute, right? The internet is an amazing gift from Spirit. Everything you ever wanted to know. And there's this guy named Brian Scott, for example, and he reads a bunch of stuff on YouTube. And there's Psychiana, there's just, I love the Yogi Ramacharaka and all the thought power and the healing, and there's so much information out there that why bother me telling you, right? Because it's all there. If you wanted to know, you'd know. If you wanted to live that life, you'd live that life. And then I turn back on me, well, if I wanted that life, I'd live that life. But I feel the structure of mankind holding me down, okay? Oh, I want to live this whole other life, okay? I fly, I teleport, I don't need vehicles, I don't need to have electricity and a wire. How dumb is that, right? How dumb can a society be that still has electricity and a wire? Okay? And every time the wind blows in this area I live, the electric is down. How dumb is that? The solution is to underground it. So let's do that. So then they get all the money, all your money, because they're a nonprofit, to underground it, okay? When it's everywhere, it's free. Okay, the Searle generator, for example, I learned about 30 years ago, okay, could do 2 houses for a lifetime. Okay, the magnetic motors, it's all been there. Free energy's always been available. It's the corruptions of the governments of man that keep us from it. And we're still waiting to be liberated from that as light workers, as seers, okay? Oh, yes, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, and then one day we're going to have the president we want. We're going to have the rules and the laws we want. Oh, yes. They can't even understand them as they are. So by the time we get to that other level, I'm definitely going to be dead, right? And meanwhile, what do I do? Right? What do I do? Okay? They are so caterwauling, right? You put up a church or whatever, you do something outside of it. Have you done this? Have you done that? Do you have? They just come at you. What your door sign is, who you can allow in your congregation, what they have to have on their face, what they have to have in their body. There's no freedom. Okay? There's none. Now, I'm free. I'm sovereign. I have my own church. I have my own thing. I'm free to do whatever I want. It's like Armageddon, right? And I'm the only one there. Like, I got all the buildings, I got all the things, and I got to play by myself, right? Because the fact that these people want to force that on me is just gross. And then later I'm going to go and give them my business, which business is an energy exchange. Okay? The grant money goes to the bigger nonprofits, and they all use the bigger governments, and they all code. So it's the system is changing, and the train is stopping, and it's going to turn around. And it's beautiful. I see it. It is beautiful. But for gals like me and other light workers and starseeds out there, I don't want to say it's not soon enough, because what they can do with your memory, right? What they can do, I mean, with the quantum shift, the sun was yellow and then it's white. We can shift and we can forget all this frustration. Okay? And that's, I guess, where we're headed. I didn't mean for this conversation to be about this, but I guess it's more honest because I have been a little down the last week. Just watching that we're still in it, right? So I got waist high, not even snow, but frozen molasses, right? Right, and that's how society's waking up. Okay, and I came here to be a part of that. But once they're awoke, I've kind of let Spirit know I'm grossed out, okay? So I want to fulfill my obligation of helping to raise the frequency so that Mother Earth can be liberated, but I don't want these people in my life after they're liberated. Ugh, gross. These people that hated me, that wanted to push me around, that want rules on me, that want the government's a man and want doctors and they want this system on me, I don't want them in my life, okay? I don't want nothing to do with them. So then where does that leave me and starseeds and light workers like me? Well, we can create our own communities. We can have our own hippie commune or whatever. No. But yes, creating your own communities, your own tribals. For me, I'm not much into community. I love doing spiritual readings. I love doing energy work on people and helping them to get to that next level. And I love doing it on powerful people that want to be healed, that want to let go of triggers and programs, and that want to be part of the higher consciousness, okay? Some people just come in, and most people, like I said, in my psychic work, 99% of them that just want to know is if they're, well, does my man love me? Because it's usually the women that call, right? If you have to call a psychic to ask if your partner loves you, they don't, okay? You don't love yourself, okay? The only way, and so it's all self-work. And so that's what I've been doing the last decade. Just every trigger, every program, going within and getting to be the highest and best version of me. And then I get to these other levels of me, and I look around and I'm like, okay, well, Spirit, there's only a certain amount I can bring to me because the consciousness of humanity is not quite ready. Not quite ready, not quite ready. And then I'm gray and in the grave, okay? And boy, will that be liberating, right? And again, I don't mean negative. I'm not suicidal, but I do welcome death. I've wanted it my whole life. This reality is not comfortable to me. I don't like it. It's not fun for me. And I don't even remember what's fun. We get to a point in society where fun is peace. Okay, I have survival now. I don't live in a car right now. And so that's fun for me because that's peace. So the ultimate fun that you could get is survival, right? That's not where I expected this conversation to go. So yay, I can hope to survive. Okay, get a job, pay the electric company. Electric should be free. It's just a job, and it's just electric. Pay. It's a job and bills, and job and bills, and job and bills, and job and bills, and that's what living in a house means. Okay, to me, that's what you got to do. That system to me is so fucked up and so far away from the power of the living God, and I don't want it anymore, right? And I want to be liberated from it. And so now I'm integrating the world outside of the matrix with the world inside of the matrix, and I'm doing that integration every day. And sometimes it brings me down, brings me depression. Integrating that beautiful visions and sights. I travel so much at night. I astral travel, and I have so much going on, and I have this great connection with spirit. And last week things kind of severed, right? There was an energy sever. And then we had this moon, and it's starting to relax, but it's like, I'm hoping that's the sever between the 3D planet and the 5D planet. Anyway, that's an archaic way to say it, but I really, I'm just a little frustrated at what I'm seeing play out, and that how far these people had to go, and they probably think the same of me. I know spirit, I know energy healing, frequency healing. I love that world, and that's the world that I live in, and that's the world that I will continue living in until I cross over in this human vehicle. I believe in the power of the living God. I believe in the power of the living God. I know the power of the living God is about my every thought and my every word. I dig deeper and deeper to bring out the most positive, beautiful, and what I mean by positive is bringing about what I want, what I prefer. I strive to focus on what I prefer my life to be, okay? And letting myself bring in some negativity, okay, that's great. We'll clear it. Blessings to you out there. I believe in the power of the living God. And I know that I am the living God. Every thought I have creates worlds, and I am mindful of every thought. And I keep that focus and that intention on creating the world I want. And though I get frustrated, and though I get dark, and though I don't want to move because there's nowhere to move, that feels like the light has been liberated. I know the power of the living God, and I strive to be the power of the living God, and to bring that energy up from Mother Earth to ground me. Cut all the cords with all the places I left my light. I was at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. We did this meditation a lot. And it's picture a big golden sun above your head, even though now the sun is white in this reality. And call back all your energy from all the places you left it into this big golden sun, from all the people, all the places, and thousands of angels. Cut the cords. And then you get Archangel Michael, cut the bottom, and then all your energy comes back into you. And you have a grounding cord to the center of Mother Earth. I picked a giant Douglas fir tree. You pick a big old giant sequoia or some sort of tree. Let go of all unwanted energy. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Great Spirit, liberate mankind. Free us from the governments of man, and free us from the suffering and the oppression. Free us from electricity and a wire, and free us from the we don't have a cure. Free us from the doctors and the politicians, oh Lord. Free us from the governments of man. Free us from the governments of man. Oh Lord, hallelujah, that day when we are free from the governments of man. At us and at us and at us. Never factoring in energy healing, never factoring in humanity. You're trespassing, you get arrested. You done something bad, we're going to arrest you. We're going to use our whole system to come down on you. I want those systems gone in my reality spirit. Lord, liberate us from the courthouse. Liberate us from the oppressors. And I'm not talking about the rule of law. Law is basic and simple and logical. Okay? Someone points a gun at you, you defend yourself. Okay? Someone is needing to get out of the cold, you bring them in out of the cold. Someone's dog needs help, help the dog. These are logical things, and there's hundreds of them, right? But the governments of man will go like on the scenic tour and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars doing it each time around to oppress the person when they could spend a few $1,000s in some love healing them. I invoke the power of the living God. I invoke the great goddess. I invoke the great spirit to liberate us from the humanity's version of the governments of man that do not care about humanity. Okay? They spin, spin, spin. Oh, they spin, spin, spin as they spin, spin, spin. They bring in your energy. They take your energy by making you work, work, work. Then they charge you to put electricity in a wire. They charge you for their medical bullfuckery, okay? And everything is curable, okay? But they charge you, charge you, charge you. They make up money. They charge you. They keep it to oppress you. Liberate us, Goddess, Mother God, Great Spirit, angels, archangels, Pleiadians, Orions, Syrians, all available entities of the highest light. Liberate us from the governments of man today, right now. Liberate me from the governments of man. I believe in the power of the living God. I am the power of the living God. And I call out to you to free humanity from the dark demonic energies of the governments of man. Amen, brothers and sisters. Amen.